All right, it is time for story time. Today we have Oonga Boonga. Say the title with me. Oonga Boonga. It is written by Freda Wyszynski. She's the author, which means she wrote the words. And illustrated by Carol Thompson. The illustrator draws the pictures. This is baby Louise. And she has a hard time calming down. She cries the whole time. This is her big brother. We're going to find out how he helps her. This is Oonga Boonga. Here's the end pages. A whole bunch of different pictures of baby Louise crying. Oonga Boonga. Written by Freda Wyszynski, illustrated by Carol Thompson. And there's her big brother playing with her. All right, here we go. Nobody could make baby Louise stop crying. Look at her. Look at those tears. Her mother tried. She held her close and sang a little lullaby. But that didn't help. Louise kept on crying until her tears ran like rivers to the sea. Her father tried. He rocked her gently in his arms and whispered softly in her ear. But that didn't help. Louise kept on crying until her wails shook the pictures off the walls. She was crying so loudly that it felt like an earthquake. Her grandma tried. She gave her a nice warm bottle and said, "Eat, eat." But that didn't help. Louise kept on crying until her sobs woke all the dogs and cats on the block. All the cats and dogs were barking and meowing. Her grandpa tried. He played a happy tune on his harmonica. Harmonica is an instrument that you play with your mouth. He's playing it with his mouth, and he's doing a little jig. That's not like a dance. He's dancing and playing music. But guess what? That didn't help. Louise kept on crying until the birds flew out of the trees. And the squirrels at the park all scampered away.
Sometimes I do that.
So her mom tried, her dad tried, her grandma tried, and her grandpa tried, but nothing would help. The neighbors came and offered advice. They said, turn her on her stomach. Turn her on her side. Some said, play Mozart. He's a person that played the piano a long, long time ago. And some of them even said, play rock and roll. But nothing helped. Louise kept on crying. Then, her big brother Daniel came home from school. Oonga Boonga, he said to Louise. Louise looked up, tears streaming down her face. Oonga Boonga, he repeated. And Louise stopped sobbing and looked at him. straight in the eye. Oonga Boonga, said Daniel again, and Louise broke into a smile. Daniel got her to stop crying. He said, Oonga Boonga. How did you do that? Asked his mother. And Daniel said, it's easy. You just say, Oonga Boonga, said Daniel. Oonga Boonga, said his mother. Oonga Boonga, said his father. Oonga Boonga, said his grandma and grandpa. See, Daniel said, she likes it. And sure enough, she did. Louise was smiling from ear to ear. Oonga Boonga, said everyone in unison. That means they all said it together. Let's say Oonga Boonga in unison. Oonga Boonga. Nice job saying it all together or in unison. Then Daniel said, I'm going out to play. His mother said, be back at 6 for dinner. But as soon as he left, Louise's smile faded. And slowly, one tear ran down her cheek, then another, and soon she was crying as loudly as she was before Daniel got home. What do you think they will do?
Oonga Boonga.
Oh, you think they will say Oonga Boonga? Oonga Boonga, said her mother. Oonga Boonga, said her father. Oonga Boonga, said Grandma and Grandpa. But nothing helped. Louise kept on crying. Oh my goodness, Oonga Boonga doesn't work. Daniel came back home. What's wrong? He said. They all said, Oonga Boonga doesn't work anymore. You can see Louise, wow, wow, wow. Even the stuffed animal rabbit is holding his ears. It's too loud. Daniel leaned over Louise and whispered in her ear, Bunka Wunka, Louise. And Louise stopped crying. He said a new one, Bunka Wunka. So it didn't really matter what Daniel said. Louise just wanted Daniel. She just wanted Daniel. I think she missed her big brother. And she was happy again. And that is the end. There are the end pages of Louise crying. Oh, and Daniel's on some of these. And that is Oonga Boonga, as read to you by Mr. Beam and his group of awesomers.